Gosh. Okay, can you hear me now? I've just been talking to nothing for 10 minutes. Dang it. Thanks, Streamlabs, for yeeting all my audio. Thanks so much. I much appreciate it. You're the best. Okay, that should fix it. So, so now I have to do that whole rant again. Oh my gosh. So, is Ranking of Kings another anime that I've never heard of before? Uh, is If it is, then all right, I'll add it to the list, right behind Attack on Titan and my brother's super into Naruto right now, and One Punch Man. So after those three, and maybe JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, I've heard good things about it. But yeah, like my brother's like, you should watch Naruto. All right, I'll add it to the list. Uh, what was the other two I was talking about? Attack on Titan. Just the theme song alone makes me want to watch that anime. So I'll have to give that a watch as soon as I get enough time to. As soon as I find enough time to watch that. Ooh, I've also been wanting to watch like the new. I guess they're not new, but I've never watched them. The Justice League Dark series. I've only seen a couple of movies from there, but it looks incredible, and I really want to watch it now. What if Games of Thrones was actually not just good, but a masterpiece? Okay, that's interesting. Although I never got onto Game of Thrones either, so all I know about Game of Thrones is that people die a ton. Peter Dinklage is awesome. Peter Dinklage always repays his debts, and it's so terribly it erased itself from the public consciousness. That's pretty much all I know about Game of Thrones. And oh yeah, and everyone was obsessed about it for years. Um, uh, uh, it's kind of funny actually because um, when I worked at Domino's back when Game of Thrones was happening, we'd have an alert that would tell us whenever an order came on screen in case we were in the back doing something or anything. And anytime it was Game of Thrones season, RGM would change it to the Game of Thrones theme song. So for like a solid like 8 months straight, you just hear. I will admit the theme song on there is also pretty nice, but not as great as Attack on Titan. Ranking of Thrones is what Game of Kings should have been. Also, hey Z, welcome to the stream. Uh, let's see, Ranking of Thrones. There's not that many thrones to rank anymore. So the top, as far as I know, there's not that many thrones to rank anymore. So I'm going to have to go with like the classic uh, British throne, just because they're ruled by someone who's immortal and will outlive us all. But and I think that's all the thrones that I know about. Unfortunately, I didn't do too well in history class. Then again, I don't think they ever covered any other kings uh, than the British monarchy. And then I learned later that Michael Jackson actually was a king. A true story. And the country he was king of, like, they really liked him, and they're like, all right, we'll make you our king. And he was super humble about it. It was great. I never heard about that before I did like a report on him. And I thought that was so cool. Welcome to Interesting Facts with Knox, where I just have amassed a multitude of random facts throughout my whole life. And so now, but they're not useful in any contexts other than just spouting technobabble. Welcome, demo. Oh, I was muted for the entire thing of it, but I was already singing. Oh man, you gotta love when you're stream. I, I, I was almost going to say like this stream was almost like not scuffed at all, and yes, I've taken to use the word scuffed more and more. But I was second time in a month, which hasn't happened in years, and I was early. I was actually early, and then I was chatting away, talking to myself while everyone filtered in, and then no audio. So I really need just like a checklist of this. It's like, okay, check and make sure that my Streamlabs hasn't yeeted the chat. Check to make sure Streamlabs hasn't yeeted my audio. And then check to make sure that my computer hasn't yeeted the audio files. That's my gimmick. One example of a useless fact that I know of is that when Google was first released, uh, it almost failed due to how simple the UI design was, because search engines back in the day were all crowded with ads and whatnot and just random trash. So when they were testing out Google on people, people would just sit there and not do anything. And when they would say like, "Hey, why aren't you doing anything?" They'll be like, "I'm waiting for the page to load," because it was just a blank white page with a search bar in it. And they're like, "No, no, that's the whole page. Continue on." So Google almost failed because it was too good. Also, I cannot get uh, "We Don't Talk About Bruno" out of my head. I have just it is such a good song, and I kind of want to do desk. I desk. Listen, desk. Listen, desk. I I want to do an April Fools, a singing April Fools, which I've never done before. But it's "We Don't Talk About Idol." And it could either be about Idol himself and all the people who are in on his incarceration, trying to put like a fronting face uh, of like being betrayed by him or something like that, or it could be about Idol, and it's mostly just Idol complaining about his plush likeness. You haven't seen Encanto yet? I thought I was. That's my stick. I haven't seen popular movies or TV shows. That's my gimmick. I'll sue you. I can't talk about Encanto without it spoiling Encanto. Ah. Steal it from someone else. Welcome, Iconic. Welcome to the stream. Oh, but yes. Oh, yes. Yes, demo. I know. I am such a monster. I'm gonna. I'll make you wait to hear me sing because I don't know why. I just feel like it tonight. Maybe not. But yeah, Desk. I don't own Disney Plus either. I'm stealing it from my brother, who's sharing it with like his entire friend group and his family. Like that's what streaming's basically become, is that you and a group of friends buy different streaming platforms. So that way all the costs are spread out and then you just share passwords with each other. That's how I have access to Netflix, Disney Plus, HBO, and Uh, there's one other and Amazon Video for free because I'm using my sister's account for Amazon, my other sister's account for Disney Plus, and my brother's account for HBO. Actually, he got a deal with HBO and Disney Plus. That's right. That was a shared cost. But I do know ProZD. Yes, I've seen a few of his skits. But yeah, ProZD. I've wanted to watch the Rocket Jump series that he's in, anime crimes division, because the promo just looked really funny. ATF told people they should false report their exes. Oh, nice. So this time you can watch the dub. All right, I see you there. Although my friend also wants me to watch Gurren Lagann as well. So, like, Ranking of Kings is when I get into an anime obsession, it's kind of like middle of my list. It's not bottom. I will give you that. It's not bottom, but it's in the middle of the list. Yes, I haven't seen Gurren Lagann. Actually, if I think about it, the last anime that I actually watched that wasn't a Studio Ghibli film was um well, what was that name? It was like The Displacement of Zero. The Displaced of Zero, I think, was called. And yeah, you need to see that. That's like top priority. I do know what ATF is. Isn't that um no, that's not air traffic. Wait, no. Hold on. I'm questioning what ATF is. ATF is I'm pretty sure it's not air traffic control. I'm pretty sure is it's that thing that in Breaking Bad they like are wait no not Breaking Bad they're like explosive experts. I'm guessing that I think they're either explosives or drug maybe both uh, experts. That's what I'm going to go with because I don't know. But yeah, ooh, Gurren Lagann, in all honesty, is one of my favorite series of all time. Yeah, I've heard good things about Gurren Lagann. Haven't watched it yet. Like a lot of the things I should watch that everyone's like you should watch, but I haven't watched yet. Another show is Gurren Lagann the one with the Geass, or is oh no Code Geass? That's another show I want to watch because I've also heard it's pretty good. Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. Did they just lop off a letter, or is it just like firearms and explosives with hyphens in there? About the mecha with the drills. There's a lot of mecha. is the is it the one with the Giga Drill Breaker? The one that's memed everywhere. Yeah. Okay. I knew I had something. I just heard iconic. I I don't know why I want to call you Ionic. Yeah, can I just not read the C in your name? Yes, it's the one with the Giga Drill Breaker. I saw a Twilight version of the Giga Drill Breaker and it was hilarious. Um, but yeah, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. See, that's the thing I don't get about that bureau is that they lop off like a quarter of their name just so that they can have the three-letter things. Although at the same time, it would be kind of weird to be like, we're calling in the ATFE. Welcome, Hunter. Welcome, Hunter. Welcome to the stream. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. That bureau always weirded me out. Just its naming convention. Nothing. I don't know anything else about it other than it was featured on Breaking Bad, and I haven't even watched Breaking Bad yet. But that's all that I know about Breaking Bad, other than you got Hal from Malcolm in the Middle playing a bad guy, and apparently he's really good at it. It has been too long. Although, if you if you think about it, this is my second stream in the month, so it's actually a lot sooner than I thought. So I've actually decided that I'm going to do streams every other week. I could try every week, but I feel like I would burn out way too quick with how things are going right now. So every other week is the tentative plan for things. Also, I'm trying to enact something to get me to edit videos on the more regular, because I have a ton of videos that are queued up. I just need to edit them. Gurren Lagann has been my top 5 favorite anime series for almost 15 years now. Trust me, I watch a lot of anime, so it's hella impressive. Nice. Good for you, Desk. Oh yeah, so demo to like your to tangent to back to your earlier question. Uh, I usually warm up my voice for streaming by singing, because that's how I learned how to do it in choir. So I just do vocal exercises, which mostly include singing. I'm part of the 2A community, so I know a lot about ATF mainly from memes. I don't know what the 2A community is. Hmm. It sounds like something I should know, probably. Seriously, Knox, I will stream Gurlagan with you if you want. I could probably steal my other brother's Crunchyroll password if I really wanted to. Sing Piano Man. But it's not 9 o'clock on a Saturday yet. It's only 4:21. I will never, never turn down an opportunity to introduce somebody. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You missed me singing to warm up for the stream, just because that's how vocal exercises go. I never got the idea of warming up, especially in gym, because it just makes you tired before actually doing the stuff that's supposed to make you tired. So I always hated doing it. But then you do it in choir, and it's really easy, because your voice, because you're just singing, so you're doing what you want to do, but you're doing something that's not like the thing that you've been practicing for months. So it's something new, old, and something that you kind of get used to. And it's really interesting. And a lot of it is like tongue twisters, like not so much of Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, which is such a hard. Sally sells seashells by the seashore. Something. It's not something along those lines. It's like, uh, oh, what's the one I was just doing? Aluminum linoleum. And just say that really quickly. Yes. Oh, okay. That's what it is. Okay. Anyway, sorry for missing the last stream. I was doing a con with my best friend. Hey, you popped in for the stream. And plus, everyone was way too good about distracting me, so I didn't get anything done last stream anyway. I think I read like 2 paragraphs before I was halted. And I was like, aluminum, linoleum, aluminum, linoleum, aluminum, linoleum, aluminum, linoleum, aluminum. Aluminum, linoleum, aluminum, linoleum, aluminum, linoleum, aluminum, linoleum, aluminum, aluminum, linoleum, aluminum, linoleum, aluminum, linoleum, aluminum, linoleum, aluminum. That was so hard to do when I first started, and now it's pretty easy. Yeah, but I wasn't there to distract you or pester you to read Shattered Skies for the whole time. Ah. That's a failing on my. Yeah, I mean, it is, but as per the rules of the V, it's all your fault anyway. So we good. Also, I have this weird thing where my chat's not showing up in the place where I want my chat to show up. Give me my chat. Give it. Give it to me. Give it to me now. Come on. There we go. Yay, I got my chat back. It was completely blank for that entire time. So I was reading chat off my phone. If you watch Gurren with me, I will accept that everything is my fault. Cheerfully. I don't know, you're putting accept in not quotes, but asterisks. Where's AK 50? What's AK 50? Oh, is that a gun I don't know the name of? I'm learning a lot of things this stream. Even more stuff to add to my. Uh, okay, so it is a gun. Gotcha. Nice. It's supposed to be in bold faced. I don't know. If you're going by Discord formatting, then it would have been a italicized, which is not bold. If it was a two asterisk thing, then I might have accepted that was going to be bolded. But since it was only a one asterisk thing, I'm like, that's italicized. That means either emphasis or sarcastic. And I don't know which one. Knowing you, it's probably both. Emphasis on the sarcastic. But hey, we play by V's rules here, not V's rules, more or less. And if we look, V is is everything is desk's fault. Yeah, there it is. I'm completely sincere here. I don't know why, but it's like every time you double down on it, makes it even more suspicious. but uh, but I'll let it go for now. uh, okay, I believe you. Jump in the line, mark your body in time. Okay, that that is the song that me and my sister kind of like stole for her dog because she has this cute little uh, Chiggy, which is a Chihuahua Corgi mix. Absolutely adorable. And uh, we just mess around with her all the time. So we just made her dance. It came on the radio while we were messing with her, and we made her dance to the tune. Now that's just her song for us. AK guy, he's funniest gun tuber. I didn't even know that there were gun tubers. Although it does make sense considering there's there's an everything YouTuber. Like the other day, I found out there were hoof YouTubers uh, when I got recommended Nate the Hoof guy, which he trims hooves of cows for a living, and I'm like, interesting. I can see why YouTube's recommending me this stuff, but it's not a normal video. It's not normally a video that I would seek out on my own. So it's very interesting. Also, he's very good at what he does. So it's really fun. Right? Also, welcome to the stream, V. Glad you can make it. Yeah, it's kind of funny. Is I subscribe to people, and most of the time, I don't ever watch videos that pop up on my subscription feed. I watch videos that pop up on my recommended feed because the recommended is more or less what I'm feeling in the moment. And it introduced me to so many like interesting YouTube channels. Like, granted, it's been trying to get me to watch the history of Fast Pass for like the last few months, and I put in my watch laters because it's like hours long and and there's just you have to have a good time to watch something like that. Yeah, uh, yeah, it's very weird and interesting, and sometimes I'll actually catch what I'm subscribed to. Most of the time, I catch what I'm subscribed to, but it's a very hit or miss sometimes. Anyway, what were we talking about? Before YouTube, and we were talking. Oh yeah, Nate the Hoof Guy. Interesting fellow. I didn't know that you needed to trim, uh, like horse hooves. I guess you need to trim because I don't know if I don't know. It just seems a thing, but then I never considered cows need the same treatment. Pro- that dude. I think I prefer hoof GP. Ah, gotcha. I never checked out any other hoof channels, the and Nate the Hoof Guy is the one I was recommended to, and I was like, "Ooh, this is fascinating." Watched it for like solid for like over a week, and then I haven't gotten another recommended of his videos. So every time I'm like, "Ooh, I should watch that," it's always when I'm in the middle of something, and that I then forget that I want to watch that by the end of that I'm watching. Yeah, they're essentially giant finger and toenails, but it's also like that thing of like the how these animals would survive in the wild if they constantly needed maintenance like that. Like I get that like through selective breeding and whatnot that we get uh, a more uh, what is the word? High maintenance isn't the word, but similar to that kind of animal. But uh, it's like with dogs, for example. Uh, when I was a kid, we had this little Australian Shepherd, adorable little girl. Her name was Shaggy, because it was my brother's dog, and he named her when he was like 11, and that was perfect time for Hanna Barbera and the Scooby Doo specials, uh, which I need to find those because I really want to watch them. I need to download all the old Scooby Doo cartoons because those are just classics. Anyway, where I was going with this. All right, so what, you don't like Scooby Doo? Where are you? I know it's been memed to death, but they can't be any worse than the CGI and live action remakes that they've made recently. And I remember that like one show that I really enjoyed, one spinoff I really enjoyed was Shaggy and Scooby Doo Get a Clue, and that was really fun. That was really fun. But before I get off into that tangent, I'll continue on my first tangent. Uh, my mom never had to trim my dog's toenails because we would walk her uh, very regularly, like at least 2 miles a day. She would just keep on trucking. and uh, her toenails would like uh, basically trim themselves as she was walking, so we never really had to uh, trim her nails all that often. Scoobert Doobert. So I would assume that like cows and horses are the same thing. Granted, cows aren't like running around all that often, but I don't think that they would be running around in the wild either. So that's why I'm like always was weirded out with that. I'm like, oh, they need trims as well. Horses I get because like a lot of horses like they're like out in the field, but they're not really like running around uh, as much as they would naturally. But I don't know. Cows just never clicked the same way in my brain for. But then those hoof tubers found me, and now it's very interesting. It's a very interesting concept, and I don't know why your hate is entirely justified for Shaggy and for Scooby Doo. It was a classic of my childhood. Same with Crypto the Super Dog. Really funny show as a kid. I don't think I would like it as much as an adult, but I do remember really enjoying it as a kid. Is your hate entirely justified for what? That yeah, that show like seriously. Like I forgot what show I was talking about for a second there. Man, my brain it just it cannot catch a break now. But Shaggy and Scooby Doo is great. I like please desk tell me send me a paragraph in Discord if you must. I'll read it on stream of your hate of Scooby Doo. And if it has anything to do with Scrappy, Scrappy is a chihuahua. He acts like a chihuahua. I don't know why everyone hates on Scrappy Doo so much. Like, I loved him as a kid, and then I hear, like, decades later that's like, oh yeah, everyone hated Scrappy so much that they basically unintentionally killed him off and made him like a horror story. I'm like, why? He was great, and he was exactly who his character should have been. Let me at him. Let me at him. That is 100% what a chihuahua is. Oh, I will. You have challenged me. Challenge. I have thrown the gauntlet at you. Good desk. And I will see to it that your end of the bargain is complete. Let's say by the end of this stream, if I don't have your reasonings for the end of the stream, the proper end of the stream, which is in an hour and a half, hour 20 minutes, roundabout. If I don't have your explanation of why you hate Scooby Doo so much, then I will. Then you have to publicly announce that you uh, really enjoy you really enjoy the Scooby Doo franchise. Just to keep you on your toes, so to speak. So, yeah. Anyways, that is the challenge I propose to you, Desk, and it seems like you have accepted your fate. Good luck. That's some good water. But, what was the thing? Ah, gosh. This is the issue. I have ADHD, and I'm trying to do something that requires some focus, some level of focus, and it runs away with me all the time. Grasping at thoughts is so hard to do. That half the time I'm just like, well, I've completely forgotten where my train of thought went. Let's let's continue reading. In between the lines, there's a lot of obscurity. I'm not inclined to resign to maturity. If it's alright, then you're all wrong. But why bounce around to the same damn song? Rather run when you can crawl. I know that you know that I'm not telling the truth. I know that you know that we don't have any proof. A glimpse of deception, learn how to bend. Your worst envision's bound to psych you out in the end. 'Cause I know that you know, I know that you know. Oh, so before I continue reading, because that was me trying to find my place in the story. uh, there's another great channel that I found while I was working at Domino's that recently concluded like one of its main it's basically reason for creation, and now they're going to see what to do, what to do now. It's called Overanalyzing Avatar, and oh my gosh, they went through every single episode, and either it's kind of like it's kind of like if Cinema Sins and Cinema Wins were combined into one entity and then was specifically focused at Avatar. Like they meme on it so hard, it's hilarious. But also they give like yeah, like good and bad critiques and noticing little moments and whatnot. And that's why I love. And it's just like it's the over analyzing stuff that I absolutely love all the time because it's great. It's really good. Because like the reason why I like Cinema Wins, I haven't seen Cinema Sins in years, but I remember I liked them because they picked up um, on little errors that I would have never noticed myself casually viewing it. But then I also don't like watching them because they are they just meme on a movie too hard for my tastes, and they're a little bit too negative for my taste. Whereas Cinema Wins, I've really enjoyed watching them because they're also point out like little background details and whatnot, and really add a lot to the watching experience. But I feel like they're not critical enough, but I still really enjoy their positive attitude. And then over analyzing Avatar, memes really hard, but is overall positive about the whole thing, and it's great. You should really check it out if you've enjoyed Avatar: The Last Airbender. They recently, like like 2 days ago, released the Sozin's Comet Part 4. Anyway, it appears with my challenge of desk, I've killed the chat. Do, do. There is wisdom in that, she admitted. Though with greater and greater advances comes more and more interesting options. There were cards in our day, to be sure, but the games revolved around suits, colors, or numbers. The card games of today, collectible monsters and heroes in the game of combat, kombucha. The game. The card games of today. The card games of today. Collectible monsters and heroes in a game of combat? The imagination runs wild. The tastings on the bottom make me wish to hear all the legends of the world they portray. Kombucha. I've never had kombucha, but I watch a cooking show, Sorted Food, also a channel that you should check out, where where one of the chefs on there occasionally brings in his homemade kombucha. And it's really funny because they always rag on it. His name's Ben. It's spicy apple juice. I thought that's what cider was. So he like, so the chef Ben, they always, so the basis of Sort of Food that it's uh, like this group of friends in London, uh, and two of them are like classically trained chefs, and the rest are normals, and they just like do cooking battles and whatnot. And it's really funny. One of the chefs, Ben, he constantly like bends the rules slightly, and it's kind of funny because everyone's ragging on him about bending the rules, but he continues to do it anyway. Like how he'll bring in his homemade kombucha to like complement his dish. Like the one that he did that in was mainly when they were making they were battling, and the theme was like tomatoes. He brought in a tomato kombucha. Apparently, it was really good. I don't know. I've never had kombucha, so I don't know if I would like it or not. Or like he'd bring in stuff from like they call it an allotment. So I'm guessing that's a community garden. I guess what that might be what it's referring to. I don't know what an allotment is other than a place where you can grow stuff. So I'm going to say a community garden, and he has his own little selection, his own little plot of land where he can plant stuff. And he constantly brings things in, including on the budget battles. He's like, all this is free since I harvested it myself. And it's always so funny. Ooh, Desk has revealed his first paragraph of his hate towards Scooby-Doo. All right, let me see. I keep on trying to pull up my glasses, but I don't have glasses anymore. I have contacts. Uh, the habits of 24 years being reinforced constantly. Kombucha is really just slightly fermented juice, like yogurt, but made with fruit instead of milk. Gotcha. All right. So basically cider, right? That's basically what cider and mead are. Technically not mead because it's not because it's not made with fruits. But isn't that what cider is? Is fermented juice. And granted, you can go harder on cider than I guess kombucha is. So I don't know. Also, I want to try and make my own cider this. I want to try and make my own mead this year. But it's a question of getting everything together. Oh, kombucha's not. Well, wait, hold on. Wait, no. Is kombucha the one that's not alcoholic, or are you saying is cider not alcoholic? Because if it's cider, then no, most cider is alcoholic. But if it's kombucha, I'm going to believe you because I've never had kombucha. So I'm like, is it just basically a fermented drink that didn't ever develop alcohol? Kombucha is an alcoholic. That's interesting because usually whenever you hear something that's fermented, it's alcoholic. But it's also live cultures. Oh, okay. I don't want to. I don't want to try kombucha, at least not in my state, because my state's really terrible for alcohol. Next time I'm visiting my sister down in Nolens, I'll see if I can find some down there. If I'm not just downing hurricanes and daiquiris instead. Gosh, I was. You thought I was wasted on the New Year's stream? Ooh, boy. Visit my sister, and oh my gosh, it was great. Anyway, let's see what Desk has to say about his Scooby Doo. You buy it at the grocery store, typically in the same section as milk or juice. Interesting. I'll have to check out Walmart next tonight or tomorrow when I actually go and get groceries. All right, let me see. I hate the so this is all Desk's word. I hate the Scooby Doo franchise primarily because it's been coasting on the exact same jokes told in almost the exact same way over and over and over again for over 50 years. The original show was cheap, mindlessly repetitive, stupid, and low effort, but that was par for the course for Hanna-Barbera cartoons for most of the studio's existence. The only thing that set Scooby-Doo apart from the rest of the garbage was that it got inexplicably popular with children and stoners. It made easy money, so Hanna-Barbera and later Warner Brothers has been milking it dry for half a century. The original show was bad, but damn near every one of the movies and sequel series and whatever is garbage. As are the legions and legions of Scooby-Doo clones that Hanna-Barbera made in the 70s. They're the same thing with even less effort. I also hate it because for the premise to work, every character in it has to be an utter imbecile. The characters are supposed to be the same ones from 50 years ago, except in a couple of the reboots. And yet they still keep getting scared and run off by the same shtick that they were back in 1969. Oh, really? Really? It aired in 1969? Interesting. Anyway, either they're idiots or they have memories of goldfish. They can never ever learn that the monsters are always fake because otherwise the whole thing would fall apart. There are and have been talented people involved with the franchise, I won't dispute that, but if anything, that makes me hate it more. Because talented people keep wasting said talents with drivel. Hang on, Disc. Are you talking shiz about Jabberjaw? And plus, you're forgetting the great, straight to DVD movies that happen, like Witch's Ghost, Zombie Island, Trapped in Cyberspace. And wasn't there a fourth one? I can't remember. I don't think I watched it. Oh yeah, and the Aliens one. Although I never liked the Aliens one. It was a good movie, but not my cup of tea. But Zombie Island, you cannot get above one of the best songs in the series with Terror Time. 'Cause it's terror time again, and we're running through the night. Yes, it's terror time again. Welcome, Esther. Welcome to the stream. Glad you can make it. It's nice to see you. No, thing is, you cannot hate on Zombie Island and Witch's Ghost. As Zombie Island goes against the exact thing. It goes against the exact thing that you argued against. They all think they're fake, and then when they start pulling off the mask, they're like, "Oh, it's actual zombies!" And then you get the Terror Time theme song, and that is one of the best. That is one of the best songs in a cartoon that I've ever heard. I've never seen Mystery Incorporated, but I heard that they did a rendition on the classic Scooby Doo Where Are You theme. And that makes me hopeful, but also terrified because it just sounds like they might be milking nostalgia for it. But I'll hold off my opinions until I actually watch it. And then you get Witch's Ghost, which have the Hex Girls in it, which are the best thing about which are the best thing about that movie. So it's really fun. Uh, and then you have uh, Lost in Cyberspace, which is also really good. It's just super super good. The whole franchise's whole existence since the 90s has been milking nostalgia. Gosh. Shaggy and Scooby Doo Get a Clue was a really great series. I remember I really loved that series. And this wasn't when I was a kid. Technically a teenager. I guess technically a kid because I was 10. But I was old enough to know good movies from bad movies, and I was very entertained by Shaggy and Scooby Doo Get a Clue. And I heard that the one where they're all kids, a pup named Scooby Doo, I heard that one was also pretty good. But for me, it doesn't work as well because they supposedly only met when they were all adults, not when they were kids. So it just kind of breaks the lore for me in that way, to be honest. But yeah, those movies are great. And then, where Shaggy and Scooby Doo, Where Are You? Or Scooby Doo, Where Are You? Is like top tier. And then everything just kind of trickles down from that. Granted, I haven't watched that series in over a decade, but my memories for that movie, for those franchises, great. For God's sake, stop letting him derail you. Okay, hopefully we'll see it. Catch you next time, Aster. Hope you have a good night. God save us, the Scooby Doo franchise has lore. Yes, it has lore. It has lore nearly as complicated as the Call of Duty Zombies. Actually, I'd say it has much less complicated lore than Call of Duty Zombies, but more complicated than Friendship is Magic. He'll rant about how much he hates Scooby Doo for ages. Yeah, it has a lot of lore. And apparently there's been like apparently it all leads back to like a TV special that they did where the what are the guys from Supernatural come into the Scooby Doo world and basically infect the Scooby Doo universe with paranormal activity. Is like basically where the lore starts off from, and it's hilarious. He's been going on about how much he hates it as literally as long as I've known him. I detest fish. If it ain't tuna, I ain't playing. uh, uh, I've never had tuna. I've had walleye, perch, and rainbow trout, and some salmon, and I guess cod as well. I've eaten a lot more types of fish than I originally thought. But walleye was definitely my favorite. It was freshly caught right from Lake Erie too, so that was even better. This is another reason we need to stream stuff. Although, if you detest fish, I implore you to answer, what's the difference between uh, a piano, a tuba, and a glob of glue? You can tune a piano, but you can't piano a tuna. And if you were wondering what it has to do with the glob of glue, I thought you get stuck on that. I You've been eating McDonald's. I need to introduce you to filet mignon. I'm fine not eating filet mignon. Are you saying walleye is basically McDonald's? Because it's not. You batter and fry that, like, is so good. We even had, there was also this recipe uh, that was great. It was so good. You basically take walleye, you lay it out in a casserole dish, you fill it up halfway with like milk, and then you put in like a whole stick of butter surrounding the whole thing. Then you pop it in the oven to cook through, and it's like was one of the best fishes I've ever had. And like I'd say it's like my second top fish. First fish is like freshly like grilled salmon. That's super good. But so he's talking about Scooby Doo being McDonald's and his animating delicious steak. Well, jokes on him because I actually don't like steak at all. Wait, it's a metaphor, damn it, for the quality of the animation you watch. Yeah, unfortunately, I just don't like steak at all. If it was sushi, then we would be talking. But steak, nah, nah. I've tried many different steaks from many different places, and I've never liked steak at any of them because I'd prefer to just eat a burger instead. I had a steak burger one time, and that was great. But steak by itself, it's much more. It's way too chewy. And granted, everyone's gonna be like, it's only chewy because it was like cooked too much. I'm like, no, I've had everyone is like, oh my gosh, this is a great steak. This is the best steak ever. And I'm like, it's anime's chicken parm. Oh hell yeah, chicken parm is also really good. I won't deny that. But then you have to also, and you're not. Uh, oh, another show I needed to watch is Invincible. I've recently been getting a lot of clips about that, and it sounds super interesting. I make melt in your mouth steak because I know what I'm doing. Well, I've known a lot of people who know what they're doing, and all my family was like my family likes steak. Like half of my family really enjoys steak and gets really at it, and they're like, and they say that like this steak's the best steak I've ever had. I'll eat it. I'm like, I still wish it was a burger instead. I don't know. Maybe maybe I've just grown up with wrong taste or something like that. But it's way too much work to eat. Steak is way too much work to eat compared to something else, and I already have a short attention span. Legend tells us of a man, a hero in a tortured land. When senoritas lived in fear, there was lonely nights in deep despair. He was Alberto. Chicka Dominic the donkey. Chicka the Christmas donkey. La 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 doo da. Classic Italian song, and it's great. Dominic. I only remember the chorus, and that it was specifically Santa gets around Italy on a donkey because his reindeer can't fly over the mountains. Is from what I gathered from that song the first and last time I listened to it. So it's Dominic the Christmas donkey, and that's how he gets through the hills of Italy. Ah, crap! I moved my mic way too much. Oh crap! Oh no, my mic's stand. Please go back in. Flavor text, Your Majesty. Flavor text, Your Majesty. Your Highness, Corporal. Touche. We should find some means of allowing you to interact with Shining's games of quill and paper. An adventure for one is fine, but with a party... I was talking to myself just the other day. I was hearing a lot of things I never thought I'd say, but one thing I said really blew my mind. Who's who? Sometimes you want mindless fluff. Hell, I get that way sometimes too. Are you still talking about Scooby Doo? Gosh, what is with this cough? I haven't coughed all day today. But that shouldn't scare you off from watching the really good stuff, the actual art. Hey, I've watched Death Note. I've also seen Sword Art Online. So, not the whole series, just the first 2 seasons, because I knew it was going to go far more downhill from there. She grumped daintily. I never thought a C grumped used as a verb before. I said art. I mean, it has art in its name. It's called Sword Art Online. Also, if you haven't seen Kero, it's great. It's a fantastic anime. It's for children, granted, but it's so much fun. Kero, 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 zaku, zaku, ni, ya, nu, se, yo. Kero, kero, atsa no, se, dekani no, itsa no, tsae. The whole opening's theme is absolutely nonsense, because they also had subtitles that showed how much nonsense it was, but it was great. There was also Full Metal Alchemist, the original series. I haven't watched Brotherhood yet, mostly because I watched the original series first, and I tried to watch Brotherhood because I was obsessed with Full Metal Alchemist, and then the first 2 episodes were like a recap of like the first season of the first series. I'm like, I don't want to watch a synopsis. I want to like watch actual good stuff. So I got super uninterested in it, and then haven't reached back for it since. Even though I've heard lately that Brotherhood is like the better of the 2, even though the original series has a better opener than Brotherhood does. Have you seen Future Diary? No, I have not. I have not seen Future Diary, Futurama, and I haven't seen most of the Yu-Gi-Oh series either. So, Desk, you have an issue with Scooby-Doo. I have an issue with Yu-Gi-Oh. Granted, I've heard there's a lot of good things about the Yu-Gi-Oh anime, but the first series of Yu-Gi-Oh will always be like top tier, and they just keep on milking that franchise and keep on bringing back the king of games and Yugi and whatnot. I mean, granted, the first they kind of blew their load early by having the main character of the first series called Yu-Gi-Oh, or they called him Yugi. So once they resolved everything that had to do with Yugi, he kind of fell by the wayside. But at the same time, it's like they keep on coming back to Yugi. Even 5D, or not 5D, the motorcycle one. I don't know which 5X. I swear it's like 5 something. It also has a callback to Yugi, even though Yugi should be like grown up and like kind of retired from being the king of games at that point. Like they have his deck in like a encased glass podium at the school. So like he's either dead or he's grown up long enough to like not be in the picture anymore. And they still talk about him. They even have a time travel episode where they go back and talk with him. I'm like, come on, let Yugi go. You just keep on routing it right back into to Yugi, and I get it. The card he's named after the card game, or he's and whatnot, and that's fine. It's fine, but seriously. Also, my favorite villain of all time is Pegasus. Like he is so manic and suave, and he's like my definition of like a perfect villain because he really only got. It's kind of funny because if you think about it, he's as effective. He's more effective than MLP than any MLP villain, but he also gets destroyed by the same thing that MLP villains do, is the power of friendship. Because that's literally how that's the end of that series goes. Spoilers. Sorry, I should have proffered that way beforehand. But they defeat him with the power of friendship. And that was like, when I saw that, when I first saw that, I like, as a kid, I was like, that's, I'm like, yeah, that's awesome. Thinking back on, I'm like, that's kind of corny at the same time. Pegasus can't look in his mind because his friends are there with him. Through thick and thin. And I'm like, all right. Did they have to do the whole hand joining thing in order for that spell to work? Or were they not supporting Yugi until that moment? What if you could watch something both fun and meaningful? I mean, that was the original series of Yugi, of Yu-Gi-Oh! Even though he completely cheated all the time in order to win. That expands your perception on what animation can even be. Oh, what's that one anime? What's that one anime? Anime. I have to look it up. Hold on. Hold the phone. Hold the chat. I need to. Giraffe. Not horse. Not Kaiba. Not Thomas. Not Persona. What is it called? What is the thing called? Anime. Go on. Oh, turning artists into anime. Okay, hold on. No. Where's Julia? There we go. There's Julia.
The amount of time you worked on that.
Here's the problem with doing Violet Evergarden.
Violet Evergarden. I've heard that's also a really good one. Stop trying to convince him to watch Doro Hidoro. That show's literally a drug trip. It's also kind of weird because I don't watch a lot of TV anymore or movies. I swear my attention span has gotten shorter as an adult because I used to be able to read books at a time, and I still do. If I ever get into a kick of reading a new book, that will take over my life. There has literally been streams where I've canceled because I'm like, I want to read this book more. But I can't do that with TV as I used to as a kid. I mean, I would binge watch TV occasionally, but I can't get into the same mood as I could back then. Oh, shut up, Jake. You like anime and cartoons. For me, they're a way of life. Oh, man. I mean, yeah, they're not. Yeah, anime was never really my style of show either, in all honesty. And you're going to think this is hearsay, Desk. Especially magical girls are not my taste either. Like, they're fine. I'll watch them. I've seen a couple things of Sailor Moon. It's fine. It's perfectly fine. It's just not my style. Personally. I can accept that, actually. All right, sweet. I was waiting for a Scooby-Doo style rant of how I should... how magical girls are the only anime to watch. Magical girls aren't for everyone, despite my screaming. Yay! But yeah, anime, I don't know, I've never... the anime that I've really enjoyed are, like, Studio Ghibli films. Granted, I've only seen, like, 3 of them. 4, maybe. Yeah, 4. I've seen 4 of them. Let's see, I've watched Spirit Away, Castle in the Sky. Castle in the Sky is, like, my favorite, absolutely. Porco Rosso. And... Nausicaa. I swear there was another one. What's the one? What? I can't remember. What is that episode? What's that movie with the deer god in it, where God is a deer and they lop off his head and he turns into a kaiju until they give him back his head and he was poisoning everything, and the main character was like got infected by this worm disease. Princess Mononoke. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I've seen 5. I've seen 5 Ghibli films. And that was basically my extent of anime. To be honest, I loved Studio Ghibli films, although they're not at the point where I'm like, I want to go back and rewatch them, except for Castle in the Sky, because that's a banger. That's a banger of a movie. Castle in the Sky and Porco Rosso were like my top 2 favorite Studio Ghibli films. I don't Spirited Away. I kind of have a weird relationship with Spirited Away, mostly because I watched it as a kid and it scared me, so I don't like it. But at the same time, it has great storytelling in it, so it's kind of like on this middle thing where it's not actually bad, but I actually don't like it either. uh, and then Nausicaa and Princess Mononoke. Those are also 2 movies I watched when I was really young, and I haven't really gone back to watch them, either with like an adult mindset. So I kind of want to rewatch them and see how well they've aged, in my perception. All that I remember from Princess Mononoke is it's the Princess of the Valley of the Wind is a joke that me and my siblings did, and then I don't know why, we just thought that was like the funniest shit. And then also I remember like there was a lake of acid. I'm like, why is there a lake of acid? Why would there just be I didn't understand at the time that was like the environment's just completely screwed, and that's why there's like an acid lake. I had no idea when I watched it. But then you watch Castle in the Sky, especially with the beautiful themes. Like I sometimes go back and rewatch that scene where that kid's playing his trumpet to the whole valley. Oh, that scene is so magical. I loved it so much. And to be honest, when I first watched it, I thought it was a like sequel. Like before I watched it, I thought it was a sequel to Howl's Moving Castle, because in Howl's Moving Castle they get a sky castle at the end of the movie. So I'm like, oh, this is the sequel. So because it's a castle in the sky, I'm like, and then it was completely shattered by the movie. I'm like, I like that's not a sequel. I really enjoy that it's not a sequel. And ah, it's so good. Also, the pirates are so funny. Yeah, yeah, I admit I probably should watch a little bit more anime, especially since it's becoming more and more prevalent. It's just a thing where I don't watch anything. Like people recommend me movies all the time, when TV shows. I just don't watch them ever, or books. Have I ever told you the definition of insanity? Ah, that's a classic quote right there. But I thought all the airships were super cool in there. Like another movie that everyone tells me is a masterpiece is like Treasure Planet. I've never watched Treasure Planet. I've seen a few scenes from it, but I've never watched the movie to see it as the masterpiece that everyone claims it is. And I probably won't, unless someone's there with me and we're watching it. Like I can like count the number of movies I've seen in like the last 3 years on one hand. Like I don't watch anything. Granted, I watched two movies like 2 days ago because I started watching the Justice League Dark franchise. But that's like the first time I've actually gone and watched a movie myself. The last 3 movies that I watched before that was Joker, because my roommate really wanted to show me what it was, but I was kind of bored. Like mm, like 75% of the way through, then it got super interesting. So I watched Joker. Uh, Endgame was because it was a work thing. They were having a AM rally, and they're like, then they had it in the movie theater, so they rewarded anyone who came out with, we're going to talk about some stuff first, give you money for food, and then we're going to watch Endgame. And I'm like, that's probably the only reason I've actually seen Endgame to this day. and and then the one before that was seeing Black Panther with my brother who hadn't seen it yet. Because and the only reason we went to see the movie there was it was the only one in theater that we were interested in, and we were we were in a few towns over, because all the like all my sisters and sister-in-laws wanted to have like a girls' day, and so me and my brothers went and watched Black Panther instead. And that's pretty much the only reason I've seen those movies. To be fair, now that they're on Disney Plus, probably still won't watch them again, except for Infinity War, because that's a great movie. But anyway, it's just a weird thing. I can't, like, once I start watching a series, I'll be insanely into it until it ends, until I can't watch any more of it, and then I don't have any interest in it. That's also why I haven't gone back and seen Castlevania yet. I've only seen the first 2 seasons. I've only seen the first 2 seasons of Castlevania, because those were the only ones available on Netflix at the time. And then I'm like, sweet, I really want to do this. Let's go. Let's watch this stuff. And then it turns out that, oh no, oh no, there's no more seasons. And then I heard more seasons came out, but then I never got the drive to go and watch them. And that's what happened with Castlevania. I still haven't seen the more recent episodes of Castlevania. It's also why I actually haven't seen MLP since like season 5. Let's see. I keep on forgetting which season I stopped at, because season 4 is the one I remember most fondly. Season 5 is the one with Starlight, right? So yeah, season 5 has to be Starlight. So yeah, I haven't binge watched MLP past season 5. We've distracted him for an hour and a half. Let's keep it up. Hey, I mean, at this point, I might as well record these audios offline, because this is just at this point a podcast, more or less. But I've already forgotten what I was saying. Anywho. Man, I really lost my train of thought right there. I guess I'll keep on going. We shall have to dangle our physician over the balcony if he continues to... We shall have to dangle our physician over the balcony if he continues to recommend this bubble. We wish to be out, introducing ourselves. Myself to the good ponies of Equestria. I have so much to make up for. She cast a longing look at the faint sparkles that surrounded her. The newest shield was properly mobile, but smaller than ever. A large stationary shield drew most power when others were going through it, as they would be scanned or rejected. A mobile shield, on the other hoof, had to constantly scan when the princess was in motion, and either halt her forward progress or reject whatever was in the edge of space. Was in the edge of the space, and either halt her forward progress or reject whatever was in edge of the space. Done once, it was merely taxing. Done once, it was merely taxing. Done constantly. I forgot where I was reading. Done once, it was merely taxing. Done constantly as needed during motion was exhaustive. Recharging the spell was the main task Shining and I undertook most nights, and truth be told, Shining's skill with shields was being challenged by the ever-shifting needs of the Princess of the Night. Shining seemed to revel in the opportunity to experiment, though I rarely understood the mechanics of what he was talking about more than what was required to keep the magic operational. Haha, I got through the big paragraph. The biggin. Can I read another chapter? Can I read half a chapter in half an hour? Let's speed run chapter reading. I will admit, I watched a little bit of Dream's Manhunt before joining stream tonight. And oh man, so good. I don't watch all of his contents, but those manhunts are like the most stressful, are the most anxiety producing things I've watched recently. Thankfully, at the recommendation from Luna's doctor, the shield no longer had to expel ponies. Now we sought to keep her from sick ponies and anything particularly unclean, but guests were becoming more common. Her magic had been recovering, though any night where she became too lost in her duties almost always resulted in a head cold the following morning. Still, on days where she rested, she was growing ever more hale, and that only left her still more restless. Thankfully, she could entertain a guest or two, and Katie was almost all Thankfully, she could entertain a guest or two, and Katie was almost as eager to visit as Princess Celestia herself. Princess Luna, you see, has a bit of a perchant for drama when telling her stories, mostly about how a young Selly was in. Princess Luna, you see, has a bit of perchance for drama when telling her stories, mostly about how a young Selly was a notorious cookie thief. Oddly, Celestia seemed to recall that it was Lulu doing the thieving, and that she would finish her alfalfa. Oddly, Celestia seemed to recall that it was Lulu doing the thieving, and that she should finish her alfalfa, which left the younger sister sputtering with indignant fury. I said perchant. Penchant? Penchant? I thought that was a weird spelling of perchant. Oddly, hold on, delete all the art. Princess Luna, you see, has a bit of perchance for. I said perchant because I read that R as an N. Penchant. Yeah, I said penchant. Princess Luna, you see, has a bit of a penchant. Yeah, penchant. I've been saying it. Princess Luna, you see, has a bit of a penchant for drama when telling her stories, mostly about how a young Celestia, a young Selly, penchant. It's penchant. Princess Luna, you see, has a bit of a penchant for drama when telling her stories, mostly about how a young Selly was a notorious cookie thief. Oddly, Celestia seemed to recall that it was Lulu doing the thieving, and that she should finish her alfalfa, which left the younger sister sputtering with indignant fury. The world, I supposed, would remain full of mysteries. Alright, see you later, Iconic. Oh. Penchant? Penchant. Oh. V, are you going to call me to tell me how to say penchant? I mean, let's be real. There's a lot of words that the French say that don't make any sense, like courgette or aubergine. Like, seriously. Like, seriously. They're cucumbers. Or no, not cucumbers. They are zucchinis and they are eggplants. Not not courgettes. See? I told you, penchant is okay. Penchant is more than enough. Alright. Your Highness, the royal physician knows well that you tire of this environment. I swear to you, upon a clean bill of health, I shall personally see to it that you will see as much of Canterlot as you can handle. Hello! So I remember Patrick Stewart pronouncing it the French, as Picard. Oh, okay, gotcha. Alright, I'm terrible with names, so is it alright if I call you Patel, or is there a preferred name that you prefer to me to call you as? I'm sorry, I'm really terrible with names. Idol would definitely not be calling it Ponshaw. What are we learning about today? French? Yes. Oh, welcome, comma. We're glad. Welcome, welcome. Oh, V did send me things.
Ponshan. Ponshan. Penchant.
I said penchant. And now we're mostly learning about French and how confusing it is. There's actually this this video, these, I think they were TikToks of this guy basically making fun of how complicated French is. What do you French? I know I allowed you to have feminine and masculine words, but they just can't switch. Yes, they. Oh, but that's so boring. And then it was. I need to find those videos and post them. They were really good. Your name's not. Not. Is my name weird to you? I. It's. I just don't know how to pronounce it, and I'd feel bad if I got it super wrong because in the past I've had really terrible way practice of pronouncing words, which is a terrible thing. When I was constantly calling out people's names for orders, I just usually, to be honest, when I was calling out people's orders, I'd just say, find out whichever, if either their first name or their surname was easier to say, and then I'd say that. If none of them was the same, I would say it as best I could, and was usually very wrong. So then I was demoted from calling out people's pizzas, and just getting them from the oven because I could not word good. And it's not so much but it's like people sometimes just like to prefer to be called a different name than what their name shows up as. So if I just ask anyways, just in case, before I go up and making nicknames for people. Perhaps I shall take you upon that, she accepted, but it makes my imprisonment no less onerous, and in the meantime, we must live vicariously through other ponies. Speaking of, Guard's mare Mothchaser seems to be absent yet again. One royal eyebrow raised at me. I fidgeted, slightly uncomfortable. Mothchaser had not been avoiding me exactly. We ran into each other all the time, usually right as one of us was going on shift. It was odd. Somehow I made her nervous now, and I could not guess why. Is the real volume low or just me? It's... we'll go with yes. We'll go with yes on that comma. Just hold your arms in the air and magic makes you lose close faster than laundry day. What? I don't know what the line says. Ah. She claims she needs to take a pair of thestral foals to make recompense to Honeydew. They have been harassing her bees. Luna blinked. Harassing bees? Have they been stealing honey? Not to my knowledge, I shrugged. To my understanding, they have been... It is a little bit quiet. I don't know why. I don't know. Everything's where it should be. Let me see if I can just... I need to jump my local volume slider by 40. Holy crap. Also, welcome, Chris. Welcome to the stream. All right. Look, this is a lot louder than I usually have it. I don't know why it's so quiet, but hmm. I wonder. I've been messing with my mic more and more because I've have my uh, laptop in this basically on my desk, and that's where I'm streaming from. So the fan's just super loud all the time, like ridiculously slow. So I've turned up the gain in order to make it better. It's not a 3 millimeter. It's a USB. And the thing is if I turn down the gain, I can start hearing the fan more and more. So I've just been trying to keep it a little bit higher so I don't have to keep on hearing the fan more and more. That's a bit better. Let's go all the way. Let's go all the way to peaking territory. Let's go. Let's go. Let's do this. Ah. I'm actually peaking my own mic. Hold on. I have to turn it up just a little bit up. I was actually peaking. I've never actually peaked this mic before. Wow. Something new every day. All right. I'm just bear with me as I keep on adjusting my volume settings while everyone else is trying to be like trying to tune in to what the new volume is. All right. That is still quite that is still peaking quite a bit. A little bit higher. All right. It no, it's 6. It's nearly 6. It was a big jump there for still up a little bit. Yeah. I okay. Oop, there we go. Well, I'm trying to get it to where my talk me talking is barely in yellow, and that's my judge for how loud I am on stream. If that's too quiet, let me know and I'll turn it up a little bit more. But I think peaking as in shine. Oh, Desk is so funny. It's so funny, Desk. Spare ribs. Laugh. Why are you still laughing? There's like a 10-second lag on my sending it to showing up on stream, by the way. Oh, that's fun. Stream lag is always so much fun, isn't it? It's the best. I shrugged. To my understanding, they have simply been flying too close to the hives. I suspect there is more, but... But that is Thestral business? Precisely, Your Highness. She made a non-committal sound. If thou insists, roll the dice that we may begin, and tell us more about this gala. When are we getting to the wedding? No, I haven't read this quite yet. Also, the wedding is going to be... The wedding is, I think, 10 chapters away. If I'm reading this right. Hold on. I have a progress bar to show me how close I am. Moonshine down on me. Creative differences. 60. Yeah. So, chapter 61, chapter 62 is the wedding. It's officially chapter 62, but it's actually chapter 61 because of all the vignettes. That's when the wedding happens. Actually, no, royalty is technically when the wedding happens. So we are exactly 10 chapters away, except I have to re record a slow roast. I have to re record 2 chapters because they are completely missing. Actually, no, hold on. Oh, wait. Yeah, no, I have to re-record 2 chapters, cold brew and a slow roast. I don't know what happened to those. But oh well. Every time you ask when the wedding is, Drake pushes it back another 5 chapters, just like when you ask when Idol's getting out of prison. I don't know. At this point, I think V wants Idol to be in prison more, just so he doesn't have to deal with how complicated the chapters are. The Grand Galloping Gala. Yeah. The Grand Galloping Gala. A time for the Grand Galloping Gala. A time for the good ponies of Canterlot to be on their absolute best behavior, to uphold all the social nice, all of the. They were removed from YouTube because of. They were removed from my computer because of Loot Chaser. They were too hot for Loot Chaser. The Grand Galloping Gala. A time for the good ponies of Canterlot to be on their absolute best behavior, to uphold all of the social niceties, and to enjoy themselves within the limits of propriety. Strangely, Princess Celestia never seemed to look forward to it, but this year seemed quite the exception. I too anticipated Twilight. I, t- I too anticipated Twilight and her new friends visiting. Perhaps a little youthful enthusiasm would enhance Her Highness's experience. I was sure Twilight would have read up on the extensive social rules of the event. The social rules. Sausage. I was sure. I was sure Twilight would have read up. I was sure Twilight would have read up on this extensive. I was sure Twilight would have read up on the extensive social rules of the event. The sheer number of ponies seeking entry to the gala was always astounding, given how few of them actually seemed like they would enjoy the atmosphere of the actual event. It had become a strange tradition for non-attendees to watch ponies on the absurdly extended red carpet, and Twilight's entourage had just broken into song. Oh, that was a bad read. If I ever had a bad read, that's a bad read. Ah. Happiness and laughter at the gala. At the gala. It had become a strange. Actually, funny thing is, I don't really like the gala episode just because it has a lot of third party. Damn it, Desk, not again. I'm surprised you're not taking penchant into account. Needs to be absolutely aghast. Oh, I know. That's why I'm redoing that line in particular. But actually, I don't actually like the gala episode because it has a what's the word? Like, I suffer greatly from third person um, embarrassment, third party embarrassment, so hard that there are absolutely some episodes I can't watch because of it. I don't know. I don't know what causes it, but I just can't watch. If there's like, and some people attribute it to uh, TV tropes ruin my life, kind of deal where if you know enough about the tropes, then you start getting embarrassed by all the, you can see it happening from a distance, and just watching the train wreck happen is just absolutely terrible. And there are a handful of episodes that do that for me. One of them is the gala. Another one is the Equestria Games, for sure. Holy crap, the Equestria Games. I did not even make it to like Spike actually singing. I turned it off before then. An episode that almost made me do that was Amending Fences. I was this close to turning it off because of a third hand embarrassment. But thankfully I kept it on. It was a really nice episode. Spike at Your Service. I didn't get it too hard with that one. The first Equestrian Girls movie, I got it super hard. Gosh, I can't stand the first Equestrian Girls movie. The second one was great until Twilight shows up and they're like, "Friendship is magic." I have to skip that scene. I have to skip that whole scene because it's so terrible. And then I can enjoy the actual good scenes with all the sirens in it. You went last a minute into Watamote? Yeah, it's probably fair. I don't even know what Watamote is, and you're probably right. There's even some chapters of books that I refuse to read, or not refuse to read, that I can't get through because of third-party embarrassment. Even when I'm rereading the book, I can't read through it, even though I know that the third-party embarrassment is not even a thing, and it's like quickly swept under the rug. Which book did that for me recently? Changeling of the Guard, surprisingly, has never had a chapter like that pop up. Thank goodness. Because that would be torture to read on stream. Oh god, third person. I don't know what it's called either. Also, don't you dare take any ideas. Don't you dare take any ideas from this V. I will never forgive you if you do. A chapter that has third party embarrassment in it, or third person embarrassment. God damn it, Desk! I knew you were going to hop on that so quick. It hasn't had third person embarrassment, or third hand embarrassment, however you want to call it, and I'm thankful for that, because it would make reading that chapter absolute torturous. Like, I have set, even if I'm rereading a book and it has third-party embarrassment in it, I have to physically put down that book, wait for that embarrassment to go away for like a week before I can pick it up and start reading again. Even if the third-party embarrassment lasts for half a paragraph, it will still ruin me, absolutely ruin me. I've gotten better at it in recent years, but it's when it's high, when it's there, oh gosh, it's there. What books have I read recently that has third-hand experience embarrassment in it? It's usually from a misunderstanding, and they don't play it out as a funny, and it's so bad. It's so bad. Oh, it was I think it was Forgiveness Pending. Yeah, Forgiveness Pending. It's a great book. Highly recommend it. It just has one paragraph of third-party embarrassment, and I have to like either skim through it to try and make it through as fast as possible, or I have to basically hype myself up to plow through that embarrassment as quickly as as quickly as possible. It sounds to me like you have a hyper empathy. Yeah, it's probably very true. Oh god, I stabbed myself. Oh no. It's nothing bad. Just surprised me. Holy, my god. But yeah, but yeah, it's so bad sometimes. Like, oh gosh. But yeah, thankfully, V has steered clear from that, in which I am eternally grateful. And yeah. And now I'm rambling. So let's go. Let's see how aghast Idol can be. Because I really want to get to the Discord chapter because I have a fun thing for the chapter title that I want to do. And yeah. The pending verse. The alien pretending to be one of us was a tentacle monster all along. Technically, yes. Also, technically, no at the same time. Yeah, that is exactly how to explain a desk. That is 100% what I do. But yeah, pending verse is great. But the alien pretending to be one of us was a tentacle monster all along, but also was one of us. That was it's such a good story. It's such a highly recommend it. But yeah, can't separate my emotions from theirs. 100%. Every time I see Moonbender do something like that where he's falling back on with his trauma, which is very understandable, and him misinterpreting things, even though it's highly understandable given like the memories that he has, it just makes me cringe all the time. Like, no, you were so happy and then you did that. No, don't do it. Please, no. It happens way too often in that story, and I still highly recommend it. So, and also, yay! Finally, someone actually also has watched read the pending verse with me. Now all I need to do is get everyone to read the Savage Sky series, where the Nightmare Moonfall was actually not Nightmare Moon, but also just also a god in pony skin at the same time. Basically, one punch ponies. I think that's how I would describe it. Is basically one punch ponies. Although I hesitate to bring that comparison up because I haven't watched One Punch Man yet. Of the actual event. It had become a strange tradition for non-attendees to watch ponies on the absurdly extended red carpet, and Twilight's entourage had just broken into song. Surely not. I rubbed my eyes, prodded a hoof into my ears, and then rededicated my focus. Now they were dancing. Oh no. They were just excited, I told myself. Surely this would go no further. How aghast... is that aghast enough? To be honest, I've always read that as like him taking it in stride until the madness just kept on mounting, and he's like, oh, oh no, things are really going downhill now. Ah, shit. Also, I also watched this whole video saying who should have gotten Twilight's spare ticket to the gala, and it should have been Pinky, because she was the only one that actually wanted to go for the party's sake. She was the only one that actually wanted to go for the sake of a party. And everyone else was there for other goals outside of that. Rarity wanted to bang Blue Blood. Applejack wanted there to sell pastries. Uh, Fluttershy wanted to be there, not for the party, but for the animals. Which, granted, like, not all of these things are bad per se, but at the same time, they're not going there for the sake of the gala. They're just going there for their own interests, which is not bad, but it's also, if Twilight was looking at it logically, she would have chosen Pinkie, even though Pinkie would have absolutely hated the entire thing. Ah! The apple pony was selling pastries in an event where most ponies don't even bother with a purse, because all manner of pastry was provided. I, I did feel a little sorry for her, but that was fine. A little eccentric, but fine. The musicians chosen for the event had honed their skills to a razor's edge, and the ambiance of the great hall was pleasant, soothing. Bleh. The musician Jumpin' Jack flashes a gas. Yep. Applejack ain't really smart. Who brings money to an event where there's free food? That is very true. Also, she could have catered. Like, she could have asked Celestia or Twilight, be like, hey, I want to make some money. Can I cater this event per chance? Like, Applejack's smart enough. Maybe not season 1 Applejack, but Applejack in general should be smart enough to realize that. Also, Demo, you can't erase your messages. They are here forever. Actually, I can't actually erase those, so they are literally here forever. The musicians chosen for the event have honed their skills to a razor's edge, and the ambiance of the great hall was pleasant, soothing, if by no means exciting. The pianist was almost incapable of laying his hooves on the grand piano, had been a personal gift to Celestia from one of the finest crafts ponies to this day. To my understanding, the world has never seen its equal, and the pianist's motions were as masterful as they were reverent, as such craftsmanship deserves. And now the pink demon danced upon it. Her hearsay knew no bounds. We forgot AJ is a silly pony. No! Who is a silly pony? You're a silly pony. Who is you is Applejack? Actually, I've never actually seen the original video. I've only seen the memes of it. Also, welcome All-Star. Did I already welcome you and I've forgotten? Anyway, well, either way, welcome. Welcome. The Rainbow Dash did everything in her power to get Sapphire. Should it be the Rainbow Dash or should it just be Rainbow Dash? I have a feeling you were trying to say the Rainbow Pony, but then you changed it because you already had Apple Pony. Hey, Nox, sing us a song. Maybe. It's a possibility. If I do, I might make you wait for it, just because I'm evil like that. At this point in Idol's life, the Rainbow Dash. Nah. VJ, what are you saying? Nah to? Is it to changing it, or the Pink Demon, Applejack, and the Rainbow Dash? All right. Alrighty then. The Rainbow Dash is funnier. That is true. That is a valid argument. It would be funny. The Rainbow Dash did everything in her power to get Spitfire's attention, but Spitfire was very familiar with her role at these sorts of events, charity and fundraising. I could feel her desire to focus on recruitment, but she persevered. Rainbow was at least nominally, not. Oh, why can't I say nominal? Oh no, no, no! I swear I can say this word. I swear. Look it up, please.
Nominally.
Nominally. God, that's such a hard word to say. And idol would describe it as a negative title. That's true. Nominally. Nomin. Anomaly. Anomaly. There are 5 types of ponies: earth ponies, unicorns, alicorns, pegasi, and the rainbow dash. Damn it, V. Damn it, Drake. Not. No, Desk. Not again. 2 and 1. Yes, you got Rainbow me. Was at least nominally. I mean, technically, I could have said it right there, and then it would have been fine. And I didn't even need to bring attention to it, except all you would have. Nominally. Nominally. Nominomicon. Nominally. 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 That's such a hard word to say. Nominally. 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 You're going to get nominally. There's no other way to say this. Rainbow was at least nominally. Yep, I'm going with that. No one else can change my mind. Rainbow was at least nominally acceptable. Oh dear Harmony, Blue Blood had won the Eye of Rarity. There was a wickedness in him this tonight. In him this tonight. In him this tonight? Should not it... Wait, hold. No. I'm keeping nominally. Phenomenally. But it's nominally. I'm keeping it as nominally. I'm not changing it. It's going to stay as nominally. Yeah, I knew it. We got V on one. We got V. Yeah. Where's the ding? I miss my ding. Oh dear Harmony. Blue. Also, I'm peeking the mic again. No. 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 All right, let's go. Let's go. God, I'm going to sound like Fundy if my mic keeps on peaking like this. Alrighty then. Better. That's perfect. I'm not peaking anymore. As far as I know. As far as I know, I'm good. Alrighty then. Oh dear Harmony. Blue Blood had won the Eye of Rarity. There was a wickedness in him and now I can't not read this tonight. Oh dear Harmony, Blue Blood had won the Eye of Rarity. There is a wickedness in him this night. I'm saying it's nominally. Phenomenally. I'm going to just say it as phenomenally now. Oh dear Harmony, Blue Blood had won the Eye of Rarity. There is a wickedness in him this night. Normally his tongue would be acid, and more than one noble would receive a drunken barb that would lead to some defensive act of charity that more than made up for whatever perceived shame was exposed. I silently pled that the young mayor would be left out of his political machinations, that she did not know if his reputation was unthinkable, but... Oh, Idol, calm down, Topaz laughed, patting my armored shoulder as she hobnobbed her way by. I thought you liked Blue Blood. I hesitated, not wanting to intervene, and yet... He serves an important role in Equestria by shaming those who fall beneath even his pitiful standards. He establishes the minimum requirement for nobility and ensures that the worst ideas never receive much support by virtue of his own efforts to support them. It is not a role I would relish, but he performs it well. That's an awful nice way of saying really unpleasant things about someone. Terry, the terrible pneumatic pterodactyl. Why can't you hear a pterodactyl going to the bathroom? Because the P is silent. That's a... Idle. There we go. There's Topaz. I lost Topaz for a second. Idle. 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 Her... Topaz just saying idle is enough to get me into into Topaz's voice. Idle. Also, it has to be kind of like a face hoof moment. And that's how you get the perfect Topaz, is to have an exasperated Topaz saying Idle's name. It used to be longer. It used to be Idle. No, just no. From an earlier chapter. Idle, no, just no. That's an awful nice way of saying really unpleasant. That's an awful nice way of saying really unpleasant things about someone. I truly do approve of Princess... I truly do approve of the Princess machination... Princes. I truly do approve of the Prince's machinations. He could just enjoy being a jerk, you know, and shouldn't it be the... Oh, wait, I said that wrong, didn't I? I truly do approve... I truly do approve of Princess machinations. I caught the line. I caught the line. He could just enjoy being a jerk, you know. And shouldn't it be the prince? You're usually pretty specific. I assure you that is not entirely the case. I could defend only so far, and I feared there were to be greater evidence to the contrary this night. And no, Prince is his name, Prince Blueblood. You're almost as fast on the trigger with correcting me as I am on finding your finding your grammar. Topaz grimaced. I feel I should have known that. I could talk to her, you know. I'd love the opportunity. This dress is probably the nicest one I've ever owned. It was true. Topaz was a beacon of well-manicured academia. Rarity had great talent, and I suspected spending time with Twilight had given her an idea what a pony with a love of knowledge on a certain topic would enjoy. Topaz had been particularly delighted with insect-ween-themed lace. I could hardly imagine how such a thing was even possible, but it was as if Topaz was hemmed with dragonfly wings. I found it oddly intriguing. I try and correct it early so you don't get too far ahead. That is also fair. I do believe Fluttershy is here as well. Well then, I think maybe we should go mingle and... Well then, I think maybe we should mingle and do a little damage control. She gave me a little grin. I was about to offer Topaz my hoof and introduce her to several of the heroes of Equestria when a great many things happened in rapid succession. Applejack brought in a cake somehow made of apples. The Pink Demon, maddened by sugar and too little dancing, dove off the stage and somehow launched the confection into the air and towards the crowd. Blueblood used the element of generosity as a cake shield. I believed he had finally gone too far when his faux foppish attempt to escape Lady Rarity's wrath, he managed to tip over one of Celestia's least favorite golden statues. The element of loyalty, ever one to live up to her element, caught the wretched thing and proceeded to apparently bash it against every marble pillar in the room, destroying both the statue and a great deal of much nicer marble. Thank order the princess and the protege chose that moment to arrive. This could be salvaged before the upper crust of Canterlot tore into her friends. The great doors to the hallway burst open, and the residents of the garden became refugees of the hall. Oh crap, I have to do Ragey Fluttershy. I have to do Ragey Fluttershy now. No. How to do Ragey Fluttershy. Table was moving. All right. All right. Here we go. Let's go with Fluttershy's voice. Pulls up a chair. Oh gosh, no. I think I should move the mic a little bit further away, because this could be very, very bad or very good, depending on what you think. I have to turn this up more. I keep on clipping, and it's too far. I don't know how I've never clipped before, and now I'm clipping all the time. I'm clipping into the floor right now, which is, I guess, a feature instead of a bug, but, you know, these things are never patched out. Alrighty then. Oh. This is actually the last thing of the chapter. As soon as I finish with this, I'm ending stream because I haven't eaten yet today, and I probably should. So. Alright. Alright, yeah, I think this is the voice I used for Fluttershy. Yeah, this is the voice I used for Fluttershy. Even though this definitely does not sound like Ragey Fluttershy. And yes, I am definitely procrastinating doing this as much as possible. You're... yeah. You're... There we go. Alright. One shot, one take. Let's go. You're going to love me! And then all Tartarus broke loose. And then all Tartarus broke loose. Yay! How's that for Flutter Rage right there? Was that a good enough Flutter Rage for the masses? You managed to do the love me thing. And then stumbled over the word broke. Yes, that is exactly what happened. It's not because I stumbled over the word broke. It's because I can't read as fast as I can talk sometimes. So in my head, I thought the word was breaks. So I was starting to say breaks, but then I wrote it as brokes, and then I just stumbled over the word, and then I just re-recorded. 10 stars. Yay! That's the thing I can never get how people do it, is reading ahead of what they're saying. Me, it's fairly connected, and sometimes my mouth is, my brain's lagging behind my mouth. That's when I mess up the most, is because when I mess up the most, actually, is when, like, my brain lags behind, and so I'm just going through the motions, and then my brain's like, wait, those were, like, not the right words whatsoever. Then I try and correct it, and then it just, all Tartarus broke loose. Or should I say it like Season 1 Twilight, Tartarus. 10 stars would witness again. Let's go. You're going to love me! I even got the throat ripple in there. Yay! That doesn't sound unhinged. To love me! That doesn't sound unhinged at all. How to do it even more unhinged? I don't know how. Let me try. Needs more warble. Okay, yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, the only other way we could definitely do more unhinged is, you're all going to love me, and not go over the top, just insane. If it's not scaring my dog on my end, it needs to be more unhinged. I don't know. I think your dog is pretty used to unhinged, considering they live with you. So, I don't know. Fluttershy sounds pretty throaty in the original. Let me pull up the original clip. Maybe I'm misremembering. I could very well be misremembering. If Fluttershy, there we go. She does get a little throaty. It's more gravelly than throaty. Yeah. Fair point, but you know I'm right, Desk. Ah. Ba 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 ba. Ra pa pa pa. Ya pa ta ta. Yara. Ya pa pa da. To love me. Yeah, I can't scream like that. I don't know if I'd be able to do that gravelly bit. I think the warble is as good as you're gonna get for for. I could try again. I could just for shits and giggles. Maybe even further away. Because even then I clipped. There we go. Andrea Libnan does go into a bit of Pinky in that clip, but at the same time, Pinky and Fluttershy's voice were very similar in the first few seasons, if I'm remembering right. Like, if I'm remembering right, anytime Fluttershy isn't basically her soft, quiet, demure little self, then she sounds more and more like Pinky. If I'm remembering, I could be wrong. I haven't watched the early seasons in ages, but I think that's mostly what happens. And then Andrea went, basically like grew more and more used to the characters and developed their voices, and then Fluttershy was able to sound a lot different from Pinky when she emoted. But yeah, the beginning part of it definitely sounds Pinky, like it's Pinky yelling that. If that wasn't just absolutely memed to be Fluttershy, and you showed someone who had no idea what the show was except for what the characters sounded like, they would say that was Pinkie Pie instead of Fluttershy. You're going to love me! Just full on clip. You're going to love me. All right. Sweet. I believe with that being the case, it is time to end stream. It only took 3 streams to get through 1 chapter. Heck yeah. Heck. I mean, it's a new record. Not a good record, but it's still a record. It's one record one way or another. And then, as much as I want to get into the Discord chapter, it's going to have to wait. It's going to have to wait until we re-record the Loot Chaser chapters. We have to. I am improving. Like, I remember the first throaty yell I did was, "We make houses out of you." Oh, that sounds so accurate to how I read it the first time, but it sounds so bad. Sure, sure, that's fine. Just wait a couple minutes. I'll call you because I have to take care of something real quick, and then I'll call you real quick after I end. But yeah, that was chapter 50, gallivanting. And then we're going to go way back to slow roast and cold brew, and then we can finally get into the Discord chapter. I've been waiting to voice the Discord chapter for so long to just hear Chad idle. I've been waiting so long, and it's here, and then I still am delayed from it. Stupid computer problems. That is a chapter L complete. That is accurate. That is incredibly accurate. Anyway, I'm waiting to hear you voice the title. It's I won't be live. You will hear me voice the title. That is very much true. All right. It's been fun. It's been fun, everyone. But I have to get going for tonight. See you in 2 weeks for the next one. Talk to y'all soon. Have a good night. Bye-bye.